Hello, it's 10 a.m. here in Seoul, and I'm Kim Dami. President Yoon Suk-yeol returned home from the Czech Republic over the weekend with dozens of deals between the two governments and businesses on nuclear energy cooperation and beyond. After the Czech government has selected a South Korean consortium as the preferred bidder to build two nuclear units at its Dukovany power plant, Yoon's trip aimed to lay the groundwork to secure the final contract. He may brief the public on the outcome of the trip in just a moment. That is why we are breaking into our regular programming to bring you live coverage of his remarks. In the meantime, southern parts of the country were battered by heavy downpours last weekend with torrential rain, uncommon for South Korea in the fall. The record heavy rain caused the evacuation of more than 1,500 people, and several casualties were reported, and at least one person died. Daesungdong Tumulai, a UNESCO World Heritage Site located in the province, also collapsed. He is about to deliver his remarks. We'll come back right afterwards.
국무회의를 시작하겠습니다.
Let us begin the cabinet meeting.
저는 지난주
Last week,
체코공화국을
I made an official visit to the Czech Republic and held summits with President Pavel and Prime Minister Fiala, respectively. We discussed follow-up measures for the selection of the preferred bidder for the Dukovany nuclear power plant, as well as ways to strengthen cooperation between Korea and the Czech Republic. I emphasize that the Dukovany nuclear power plant project will be a turning point for the groundbreaking development of the bilateral relations, and that all the people from Korea, the Team Korea, will do our utmost for the success of the project. I also met with key figures, including the President of the Czech Senate and the President of the House of Commons and the governors of the Dukovany and the governor of the Dukovany region. They all agreed to join forces to ensure that the Korea-Czech nuclear power partnership develops without any wavering. In the future, we will establish a Korea-Czech nuclear alliance that covers the entire nuclear life cycle, including construction, operation, research and development, and human resources development. Moreover, through this visit, the two governments agreed to establish a long-term comprehensive nuclear cooperation framework and to expand our collaboration beyond nuclear energy and advanced industries, cutting-edge science, research and development. And it was contained in the joint statement that was announced. And also, we adopted an action plan to implement it concretely by 2027. The Czech Republic is a major European country in precision machinery and an important ally that shares the values of freedom, human rights, and rule of law. Based on the framework for cooperation that was established during this meeting, this visit, manufacturing and advanced technologies from both countries will combine to create great synergy. Each ministry should faithfully implement the cooperation agreements reached between the two governments during this visit and ensure that tangible outcomes are realized for the benefit of our citizens. There's a saying that political strife must stop at the border. When it comes to national interest, only the Republic of Korea exists. There's no division between any parties. However, some within the political community are spreading baseless rumors about Korea's participation in the Czech nuclear project, claiming it involves dumping or underpriced contracts. The government only supports businesses in securing contracts and participating in projects. What business would engage in a project that incurs a loss? It is truly regrettable. Rather than helping the companies and partner companies that are risking their lives, the government that supports them, why should we obstruct and block such activities? We need to seriously reflect on what is the right path for the benefit of the people and the future of our country. And also, in some parts of the political circles, there are suddenly a calling of unification that should not be pursued. Many individuals who dedicated their whole lives to the unification movement and spoke of unification have suddenly reversed their stance after North Korea advocated the two-state theory, and it is completely incomprehensible. Who can understand that they would condemn anyone who disagreed with their unification claims and anti-unification, but then suddenly changed their stance overnight, 180 degrees? This is a constitutional violation, and it is unconstitutional that abandons the duty to promote peaceful unification under liberal democracy mandated by the Constitution of the Republic of Korea. They claim, let's give up on unification and choose peace path. Let's eliminate Ministry of Unification and should delete the provisions on the territory of the Republic of Korea and the provisions on promoting peaceful unification in the Constitution. In a situation where North Korea is willing to risk a nuclear attack while asserting hostile two-state theory, is a peaceful two-state theory truly feasible? Abandoning unification would only intensify inter-Korean conflict and increase security risks on the Korean peninsula. The government will establish genuine peace through strong power and principles, not through empty rhetoric or superficial declarations. Based on this, we will steadily pursue peaceful unification grounded in freedom, and government will intensify its efforts to move closer to a peaceful unification where all members of the Korean Peninsula can enjoy happiness. It is not about unification through peace, through force. We will prepare a unified Republic of Korea where the freedom and human rights of all individuals are respected and where dreams and hopes are given to future generations. The situation in the Middle East is rapidly unfolding. We are urgently reviewing the safety of our overseas citizens, companies, deployed troops, and diplomatic missions. We must also analyze the impact on our economy and logistics and take swift actions without delay. Since September 11th, the Chuseok Emergency Week will come to an end tomorrow. There were many voices of concerns, but thanks to the cooperation of the people and the dedication of medical staff, we were able to spend the holiday without any major difficulties. Municipal governments played a key role in leading nearly twice as many local hospitals and clinics to participate on-call medical institutions compared to last year Chuseok, and supporting emergency room operations with their own financial resources. Today at the cabinet meeting, in order to further strengthen cooperation between the central and local governments in the emergency medical care system, we will establish a special provision that allows local government disaster management funds to be used for emergency care. This will clarify the basis for using their disaster management fund to support emergency medical institutions and personnel, and will allow for rapid support of human and material resources that are needed in the local settings. Related ministries and local governments are asked to mobilize all available resources and strengthen cooperation to maintain a solid emergency medical system. During this Chuseok holiday, many more hospitals and clinics opened compared to last Chuseok holidays or the Lunar New Year holidays. As people first visited the hospitals or clinics in their neighborhoods, instead of emergency rooms, the number of patients with mild symptoms in emergency rooms decreased nearly 40%. It is advisable for critical emergency patients who are competing for every second to receive prompt treatment in emergency rooms, and for non-emergency patients to visit small and medium-sized hospitals or clinics in the neighborhood. Only then we can save more lives and reduce the excessive burden on medical staff and improve the quality of the services. Please continue to provide guidance so that a mature emergency service utilization culture can take root. If we look at the cases of delayed transfers and emergency room going around emergency rooms during this holiday period, most of them were patients were competing for the seconds, like premature delivery and cerebral vascular diseases. Along with the absolute shortage of specialist doctors, unfair compensation for critically ill, essential medical doctors, and excessive legal risks have not been resolved, and it is gradually collapsing. This is why the government is promoting the medical reform. Without the medical reform, we cannot build a regionally balanced essential medical system that protects the lives and health of the people. The government will do our utmost to promote the medical reform without wavering, along with increasing the number of medical school quota so that the people can receive high-quality medical services anywhere, anytime. On September 19th, the U.S. FOMC decided to lower the base interest rate by 0.5 percentage points for the first time in 4 years and 6 months. This is in response to the global inflation that has reached a pivotal point. It is showing signs of the era of high prices and high interest rates that has continued for several years is coming to an end. Amidst this, our exports this year are leading the economic growth, increasing 9.9% year on year. The consumer price inflation rate has been in the 20% range for 5 consecutive months, and in August it fell to 2.0%, the lowest level in 3 years and 5 months. The global security and supply chain instability, if it does not increase in the future, the inflation is expected to remain in the stable 2% range. As the international economic situation changes and our economy is recovering, the economy improvement is not that much palpable by the people. We need to make more meticulous efforts so that the warmth of the economic recovery can reach every corner of our country. And I hope that the ministers and the leaders will visit the sites and the working level officials and carefully listen to the voices of the people. We need to carefully review the livelihood measures that were announced so far, if they are implemented without any hitch, and whether there are any areas of improvements. Policies, as much as content is important, speed of implementation is important. We need to implement such policies more quickly so that the time lag between the policies and the people's perception is reduced. I hope that the government will work diligently and more carefully so that its efforts can lead to real changes in people's lives.
That was our live coverage of the 41st Cabinet meeting of the year. We'll have more highlights in our upcoming newscast at noon Korea time. Until then, goodbye.